Hi YouTube and everyone that decided to click this video. I'm finally making this after 9 years, my incident. I've been wanting to do it to hopefully help others the way that other YouTubers helped me during my hardest times. Today marks 9 years since my craniotomy on October 19th, 2015 at UM by Dr. Komatar. Can finally talk about this and not cry, which is I think also another reason why I finally decided to make this video. I haven't been very public about that day or at the time of my life because the shame that I had in my diagnosis at the time. A person that I once thought was a weak and useless person for society. After 2 years of constant internal battles, including generalized anxiety, chronic depression, PTSD, and chronic panic disorder, after seeing a few psychiatrists and psychologists, they finally gave me the diagnosis. Or should I say that I gave myself the diagnosis? So I understood the diagnosis I was given by psychiatrists, but I thought, how did it all come on so suddenly for me? I was a really chill, relaxed, carefree, happy person. But I was like, how is it that I've seen people die before my eyes before this, and my mind was never this affected? And all of a sudden, I lost my ability to drive, remain calm, hearing or seeing any little minor stressor I or other people would face. I couldn't even hold a conversation without feeling 2 minutes in like my head was going to explode and I was going to have a panic attack. I was in college at the time and I would have to run to the bathroom every 10 to 15 minutes and throw water in my face to make myself feel like I was out of this nightmare that I was in. Basically, I felt like I was going crazy, and maybe I was. I was extremely difficult to deal with as well because of my constant state of stress and no one being able to actually see the cause of it. No external wounds or losses, no wheelchair or cast. Nothing external that was obvious to tell me, hey, this is what you got. The peanut-sized monster was in the most hidden and mysterious part of my entire body. The constant feeling that I was in a nightmare would not subside, regardless of the support and medication. I had thought that there had to be something wrong with me, something physical, like, I don't know, a brain tumor? But how could I question professionals? I wasn't in the medical profession at the time. One day at the right time and place, my mom's then friend, who is a doctor, came over and I told him, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but I think I have a brain tumor. His reaction was laughing at me. Another thing he said was, you're such a pain in the ass. But I didn't care. Someone finally listened to me and he gave me the script to get an MRI. So I went that same day and came home to my entire family on the couch crying. They found a glioma in my left amygdala that was most likely impossible to surgically remove because of how deep it was, that area in my brain. I'm not sure if you guys know, but the amygdala is, there's one on the left and one on the right, and it's pretty deep inside. They told me that the radiologist that called my family at the time and told my family I only have about 2 weeks to live. It looked like a bit pretty serious in late stages, the glioma. Gliomas aren't, brain tumors, aka, gliomas or whatever they label it, aren't classified as malignant or benign. It's a different classification because it's so difficult to see and diagnose until it's actually removed. And this exact moment changed me. Changed me for what I thought was the worst because of the level of fear I was living in 24/7. Not only with the symptoms that I was experiencing, but then also the fact that, hey, you could die any day within the next 2 weeks. No one knows your prognosis, but you're going to die. So that all led me to isolate myself, push away people closest to me. No one knew but my family. When I started seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, which at the time I didn't, right? Things were looking better, and I'll get into that. I suffered from severe anxiety and depression for 7 years after that. So I don't know if you guys are religious or not, believe in God or not. Besides that, all I know, and not to push my belief systems upon anybody, but God is real. That man that was my mom's friend is now my stepdad. And because of not only his profession, but also his huge crush on my mom, he did everything he could to find the best surgeon in the nation that would want to take my case. After a few weeks, trauma in my life, he found Dr. Komatar. I give him credit. It's pretty famous. If you guys want to look him up, he works at University of Miami. He runs the neuro department. He took my case right away and gave me a personal meeting just to tell me that I will survive and explained to me how new technology was able to go into the areas of my brain that were really deep. It was risky, but I would survive. So I was guaranteed to live, but he told me I had a high risk of losing my memory because of how close it was to my hippocampus. that whole depressing story. Nevertheless, the good news came, but the fear was still there. Will I never remember anyone again and become Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates, which was once upon a time my favorite movie, but at that time, that idea was monstrous to me. The meeting was wonderful, but at the same time, had me sink into my fear even further. So all I wanted to do was numb myself. It led me to just wondering if I should give up. The pain, suffering, and constant agony is the best way to put it. It was causing me to feel like I wanted to end my life. I thought that was the better choice at the time. I don't know if this can also maybe help those who have been suicidal, but I was extremely suicidal. So much that my mom had to quit her job to watch over me to make sure I wouldn't hurt myself. I thought I was not only hurting me, but I was a huge burden on everyone else. The surgery on this day, after 1 year of not being able to work or drive after my craniotomy, they told me that it was going to take a while for my brain to heal. They didn't really give me an exact time, but they told me the year had to take off. After all the 1 year and then 3 years of my brain, I think it took about 3 years for me to feel like it was fully healed. And now 9 years of redeveloping myself. I had to completely rebuild my personality, find myself again. I lost my mind, I lost everything. This video is to say thank you and once again to give hope to others. And this is where I get to the hopefully inspirational part that'll help others get through what I went through or something similar. I know everyone doesn't have the same exact story, but I'm still me, but a better me that I didn't believe I would be able to get to attain because I felt so held back by the slowness of healing and the trauma that came with it. No one around me had experienced what I experienced. The brain tumor that I was diagnosed with, only 0.5% of the world has ever had. I want to say thank you to my family. Having family was a huge thing, but especially our Heavenly Father, God. I am now closer to Him than I've ever been. I gave myself to our Savior, Jesus Christ. I'll go into, if anyone's interested, how I ended up giving my life to Jesus. That was a moment that I had in my car where I felt like I would not get past another day. And that's another story. I also lost all of my friends at that time. Not only did I push them away, but they couldn't understand me. So although I still have little moments of, oh God, little flashbacks, they're lessening and went from every day to every other day to every week to once a month to every other month to now maybe once every 6 months. I want to help you guys all understand triumph, grit, that it took me to get here and how amazing I feel and that it's all worth it. All the pain, all the obstacles are worth it. I know it's cheesy. I'm sure you guys, everyone tells you that, but I am proof. And I have a level of understanding, appreciation, love, and overall empathy that I've never experienced before. The wisdom and strength is something I can never buy and I can finally rejoice in. I'm happy this happened to me. I can now say that and truly mean it. I'm happy God gives us battles to learn and become better. Why? It has humbled me so much knowing that I can't do this life alone. I'm so happy to admit that, and I don't feel weak. I need people. I need family, friends, a life partner, all of it. I've learned people need me. Things that I thought I could live without because I was strong enough. So many people out there I used to walk past like nothing. I now wonder, how can I make this person's day better? I can't even imagine what others may be going through. With that, I've met some of the most amazing and inspirational people that I'm blessed enough to say are in my life. Some who I only talk to for that one day, and some who have become my forever friends, someone who's become my forever partner. We are all here to share this experience of life together, whether good or bad. Let's do our best to love each other. But lastly, I want to share, I'm so obviously incredibly grateful to still be here on this earth, to keep on thriving in this life with all its good and all its bad. Nothing against positivity and hope, but I hope you guys know that life has us all go through experiences we had never thought we would ever go through, never imagined, where those two feelings of hope and positivity are completely ripped away from us. We lose the power of our mind we once had when times like this come. All is lost and gone, including people. Never forget that we have the man above, or the universe, or whatever you want to call him. Hold on to him and he will give you everything you need. All trials and tribulations are the absolute worst in the moment, but nothing in the end. No obstacle courses will ever conquer you. Obstacle courses that if you conquer, you gain trophies that no one can take away from you. That's the end of my story. I hope this is my first YouTube video. I didn't practice. I'm not really sure if I'm doing this whole thing right, but the only thing I'm hoping to do is to give others hope, give others a story that can hopefully get them through another day. And if anybody wants to reach out to me and has any further questions, please don't hold yourself back. Reach out to me. This is the whole point of doing it, is I'm ready. Before I get off this video, I just want to say a funny little story that might not sound funny, but to me, it's hilarious now. Fun little side story I have to mention to make my story more inspirational, I think. I became a fentanyl addict. Fentanyl. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Yes, me. I'm a PA now. I'm a totally healthy person. I have a wonderful partner. I have a full-time job. I have 2 stepchildren, all in between. So apparently during and after my surgery, they were giving me fentanyl for pain, and I became addicted. How? I do not know. Apparently, according to my parents, I almost fought nurses and doctors for it and became possessed. According to my mom, she said I looked demonic. There was nothing behind my eyes. I was kicking and throwing things in the room. So I don't remember. I didn't choose to take fentanyl. They forced it on me. I guess because the pain was so intense, that was the only drug that they could give me. But yeah, I did, and I got through it. I'm not one of those actual, I don't know if I'm an actual drug addict, but something like that, I guess. So thanks to my family sticking by my side and my medically educated stepfather, they told the nurses to stop giving me the fentanyl every time I asked, because if it wasn't for them, they would have kept giving it to me, and they would have discharged me with it. I was discharged a day later. So the surgery was October 19th. A day later, I was in ICU, and they discharged me that same day. They didn't tell me about withdrawals, so that also happened that I would experience. Let's just say that's also another reason why I kept that part for last. The amount of projectile vomiting that I did for the next few days, and this screaming for drugs, was the funnest part of this all, I guess. Why? Well, I don't know. I guess I just never thought in my life I would say I was a fentanyl addict once upon a time. Pretty embarrassing. That's also something I haven't really shared with anyone. But if anyone can relate, that's also something else I wanted to share. Once again, if you guys who are watching need anyone to talk to or have any further questions, let me know. I know I seem really happy and like everything is great, but this wasn't always me. I still cry. I still have my moments. And if anyone needs anyone else to hold their hand, virtually or cry with, I'm here. Once again, I don't even know if I mentioned my name. I'm Andrina, and I am a brain tumor survivor. Hope to hear from someone, at least one person. Have a great day.